Jetta VS7 and all its features and functions explained. Ow! Okay, at least the protection works. Nice. Welcome back to Car Files, and today in your beloved series of videos What the Function, we will go through all the features and functions of this Jetta VS7. This is the Chinese Volkswagen, kind of. And just to remind you of the format of the video, we don't cover the ride quality, the driving of the car itself. There will be a separate video about driving this car, as well as about all the emotions you will feel while driving it. Don't forget to subscribe to not miss the second video. And also subscribe to my second channel with silent videos about cars and a lot of other stuff. Let's go. And let's start from the key of the car and from some exterior features. So basically you can lock it and unlock it, the pretty standard Volkswagen key. You can also open the bonnet. You have keyless access here. You have this nice tiny button, simple one, to close the car, and same button to open the car. Unfortunately, you don't have sensors to open it more comfortably, and you can't open it from here as well, and there is no button. But you have the same button on the passenger side of the car. And in terms of daily usage, it's a super city SUV. You have painted body part here, and it can be easily damaged. You have pretty decent isolation here. Your pants will be safe, and in general, this part is pretty clean. As soon as it's a simple car, you don't have electric trunk opening. So yeah, as simple as it is. As for the trunk, it's super simple. You don't have any features like you have in Škodas, for example, or in some of the Volkswagen vehicles. One hanger here, one here, some light, and basically that's it. You have a spare wheel here, and that's all. But the trunk is pretty spacious. I managed to fit 4 bicycles here with folded seats. Speaking of back seats, you have plenty of space here, like really a lot. And this is with the driver's seat moved back to the maximum position. You can even sit here like that. That's nice. And in general, it's pretty comfortable to jump in, a lot of space here. What else do we have here? You have few pockets for your phones, for example, and it will look like that. Same at the passenger seat. USB Type-A here to charge your devices, and that's basically it. Yeah, you don't have any climate control features or something like that. Pretty high tonneau here. Few cup holders and also the bottle holder. Again, pretty standard component for most of the Volkswagen vehicles. And you can fold seats 40 to 60. Enough space on top of my head, so I think if you are below 180 centimeters, you are safe here. Hangers for your clothes here, reading light here. And when you fold the seats, the floor won't be flat, unfortunately, so yeah, be prepared for that. What I like here is when you fold the seats, you don't have to secure your seatbelt somehow, because there is a nice plastic part here that doesn't allow seatbelt to go there, to be on the way of the seat being folded back. That's nice. The sound is a bit cheap. Now to the driver's seat. So you have electric adjustments for the driver seat. You can move it forwards, backwards, move down or up. You can change the angle of the back part. And also there is a manual adjustment of your back support. For steering wheel adjustment, you have pretty decent range, I would say. So I managed to sit here comfortably. So what do we have at the driver door? All window lifters are with the automatic function. And for the rear window, it goes down almost completely, 99% of it. Here you have the lock button and the lock button for the rear window lifters, for your kids to not play with it. Here you have the controls for the mirrors, so you can adjust it with these buttons, or you can fold it. And unfortunately, it always reacts super slowly. Yeah. On the left side from the steering wheel, you have some kind of strange area where you can store something, parking ticket, but this area is pretty strange because if you put something plastic there, for example, it will create a lot of noise. I'm not sure what exactly you can put there. I have some wet wipes here, but again, you can put your parking ticket there. Here you have the controls for the lights, so you can basically activate the auto mode and that's it. And also you can play with the angle of your headlamps. What do we have at the steering wheel? If you cover the logo, you will see that it's basically standard Volkswagen steering wheel, sound volume and switching between tracks. Here you have all the buttons for the adaptive cruise control system. You can activate cruise control, you can then set the current speed as the baseline, and then you can adjust it by 10 kilometers with plus and minus buttons. Let's imagine that you have the limiter activated, so you can adjust the speed by 10 kilometers, and you can increase it by clicking the store button, and you can decrease the speed by clicking the set button. And if you have adaptive cruise control activated, you can play with the distance. You can see it being adjusted here. On the right side of the steering wheel, you have some of the controls for the driver dashboard. So basically, you can switch between various information in the middle of the screen. I have now audio information shown there. You can see the navigation, but it's not activated here. Also, you can switch between various designs. So you have this option, then you have the option with the revometer priority, and then you have the kind of digital version of it with speed in the middle and some additional information on the side of the screen. So you can select something useful here or something else here. In general, the driver dashboard is okay. Screen resolution is not perfect, yes, but you can easily read all the information, and it's properly covered from the sun here. So yeah, all good. I can't complain, to be honest. Then all the controls for the wipers. So basically you can clean your front screen once, then you can activate the interval mode. Then you can adjust the sensitivity of the rain sensor if you want, or you can disable the rain sensor in the settings, I will show you later. Then you have the low constant mode and then high mode. Nothing super fancy on the left side, just the regular blinkers. Here you have pretty simple sun protection, you have the mirror, and there is no light, unfortunately, and also there is a parking ticket holder here. Here you have all the controls for the panoramic roof and for the sunshade, so you can close the sunshade, open the panoramic roof in the ventilation mode, yep, and then open it completely. Some of the light controls buttons, and unfortunately nothing else here. I would expect sunglasses storage space to be placed here, but yeah, there is nothing. But at least the rear view mirror has the auto dimming option, so you don't have to do this nice manual gesture. What do we have here? Let's start from the climate control. We have pretty well-known Volkswagen-like climate control system. Unfortunately, all the buttons are sensor buttons. You can play with the temperature, you can do the slide gestures, you can select different temperature for the passenger, then you can sync it, completely deactivate the system, then activate it back. You can activate the seat heating, and again, all buttons are sensor buttons. Air recirculation, maximum heating of the front screen, heating for the rear windshield and for the rear view mirrors. Activating or deactivating of AC. You can play with some modes where the air goes, but yeah, then you can also activate the auto mode. Also, you can play with it from the main screen, but basically all the features will be the same. Maybe it will be just a little bit easier to play with changing the airflow direction, and you can see some graphics here. Some physical buttons here, thanks God. You can physical emergency lights button, start-stop deactivation, and you have parking assistant menu. What do we have here? We have pretty good cameras, 360 degrees. You can select some certain cameras. With front camera activated, you can switch between fisheye view and regular view. Side cameras activated, you can switch between single camera view and two camera views. And same for the rear view camera, you can switch between fisheye view and the regular view. You can also switch to bird eye mode, or you can play with the 3D picture of your vehicle. Picture quality is quite good. Then you can deactivate the sound alarm if you want. Settings here. So first of all, you have option to activate automatic activation. In this case, you will see the mini widget here, or you can switch it to be the full screen view when car notices some obstacles. Also, you can activate the function of 360 degrees view being activated when turn signal is activated, and it works like this. Yeah, the left side and the right side. What do we have here? Type A here and Type C here. We have 20 volts charger here. We have wireless charger area here, but it works quite strange. So you can place your phone here, you see it's charging, but then on the first bump your phone will jump off, goes there, and that's it. You don't have a charger. Here, pretty standard Volkswagen gearbox. You can select the drive, then you can switch to manual mode, play with the gears, and also switch to sport mode. Of course, start engine button, parking brake, electric one, auto hold system, applying parking brake during your stops on the traffic lights. Storage space here, you can put something small here. Two cup holders, unfortunately you can't fit two cups here. This is how it looks like, and you can close it. Some storage space here, not a lot of it, but still. You can adjust the armrest angle and also move it forwards or backwards. In general, pretty decent. Now to the infotainment screen. First of all, you have your physical buttons on the left side. They are sensor buttons, but you can play with the volume of your sound, so you can manually adjust it. You can enhance the menu and play with the sound of your phone, your navigation, voice assistant and notifications. Or if you want, you can quickly mute the music, for example, by double click. Then you have kind of home button or back button, so when you are in some of the menus you can go back, and yeah. Also you can open the list of all applications with this button, and you have a swipeable menu item available from the top of the car infotainment screen. So basically you have few functions here. You can play with the brightness, you can switch between different styles of the desktop, but unfortunately it doesn't work if your car is not logged into the Jetta system. You can play with the design of the system, night mode or auto mode. You can open settings, you can open climate control, you can quickly defrost the front screen, and you can completely deactivate the system to see the nice log. And also you have some other functions like quickly accessing Wi-Fi or mobile data. But as I already said, in order to use some of the functions you need to be logged into the system of the Jetta. Unfortunately, as soon as this exact car is sold in Russian market, I didn't manage to log into Jetta application, which is completely in Chinese, first of all, and then it doesn't allow you to log in with German mobile number or with Russian mobile number. I think it works only with the Chinese one. But if you know any other details, please let me know in the comments. If you are authorized into the system, you can have access to some of the information about your car. Also, if you are logged in here, you have access to karaoke if you want. You can access the weather information, message center, applet, and a lot of other stuff. Again, if you have an active internet connection and if you have pre-installed SIM card. Thanks God, at least they didn't disable all the rest of the functions here. So you have Bluetooth music, radio, USB music, phone. You don't have CarPlay here and Android Auto, and yeah, that's sad. And if you want to know more about the CarPlay and how it works, please check video in the suggestion. Going back to the infotainment screen, so what do we have here? You have the car setup section, and in the drive assist menu item, first option is to adjust the settings of the adaptive cruise control system. You can switch the sport mode. I'm not sure how it will work. Will it drive like the BMW? Let's keep it in the comfort mode. You can also remember the distance that was used last time. You can activate or deactivate forward collision warning system, and you can display the distance alarm message in your dashboard. There is also a fatigue monitoring system, but I didn't manage to ever trigger this car to react on me as distracted driver. After a week of driving, I'm still a not fatigued driver. Then you can play with the ambient lights, but we'll check it in the night section of the video. And yeah, some of the functions on accessing the car, unlocking and locking, you can play with how the car will react to your actions. For example, you can hold the unlock button and it will open all the windows, but you can also switch it to be affecting only the driver window. Then settings for the lower beam to be activated when you lock the car or unlock it, and auto mirror folding. Some wiper settings, for example, you can deactivate the automatic front wipers, we don't need it, and you can also activate the auto rear wiper function, which will activate the rear wiper whenever you activate the reverse gear. And you can change the body color. Yeah, that's very useful feature. In car info section, you can have access to some overview of the car. You have good health. You can see some of the information from various systems here. For example, the tire pressure control system. You can switch it also between standard and full load modes. Yeah, there is also, in case you have the exit parking aid or BSD system, yeah, you will see something else here. And I assume that here you will see the video recorder function, but yeah, it's not installed in this car. You can check some driving data, like the total travel mileage, average fuel consumption. For example, you can see that average fuel consumption from the last refueling is about 10 liters per 100 kilometers. Not the best mileage, to be honest. Some information about the upcoming maintenance and some car details. In the video mirroring section, you can basically connect your phone to the infotainment screen and then see videos from it on your infotainment system, but I didn't manage to make the system working. First option is to use phone as a hotspot, the second one is to use the infotainment system as a hotspot. Neither of those allowed me to mirror something to the main screen, but I think sometimes it works. And in the settings, I don't need the network connection. You have various things about the networks. You can activate the radio hotspot, you can play with the Bluetooth settings, you can play with the VLAN and activate the Wi-Fi connection. You can play with the sound settings, basically the same that you have here. Some additional things like volume compensation system, you can adjust the equalizer settings, and you can play with the sound balance. In display settings, you have potentially some options to play with the desktop style, but it doesn't work here. You can adjust the brightness of driver dashboard and the buttons and brightness of the main screen and play with the theme again. In features, you have option to save some of your app as being your favorite app. For example, you want to have navigation to be quickly available, and then you double click app button and it will open the navigation. I tried to do that with car info, but unfortunately it doesn't work. See, no reaction. And also some general settings about time, date and the language. And here you have only Chinese and English language, and that's it. To open the bonnet, pull this lever. Then there is a second lever right in the middle of the bonnet. Move it to the left and you can open it. And you can see the marvelous Volkswagen engine and a lot of Volkswagen logos here. In terms of night usage experience, what do we have here? In central area, all the buttons has the backlighting, so this is basically the standard Volkswagen climate control. This area where you are supposed to put your phone, there is some lighting, and also there is an annoying button which is installed on the Russian market only, with the option to call the emergency services. Here all the buttons has the proper backlighting, all good. For the steering wheel also every button has the backlighting, everything is easy to read, good. On the driver door, most of the buttons has the backlighting, but also partially you have some light from the ambience lighting system. But let's disable it for a moment, and we will see that some buttons has no backlighting, only when it's activated. And when ambient lights are disabled, you can't, for example, see the buttons for the mirror adjustment. We have automated rear view mirror dimming, so if someone will try to flash you from the back, you'll be protected. And as we already checked, there is an ambient light system, so you can play with the colors here in the car settings. You can also play with the intensity of it, so low, middle or high. You can use the rhythm function, which will connect the atmosphere here with the played music, and also you can select some of the themes. Actually, it works pretty nice. In general, pretty calm interior. Also, you have some ambient lights for the back seats. Pretty strong. You can see it even here and here at the door. Headlamps are working fine. I used this car a lot during night drives and I didn't feel any discomfort at all. When you open the car, it greets you with just activated headlights, no graphics, nothing special. These are the headlamps, and also you have the nice Jetta logo in front of the doors. Let me know in the comments what do you think about the Jetta VS7. Don't forget to check the second video about the car when it will be live, and subscribe to my second silo channel and watch something else here. Safe driving, good luck, and see you in the later videos. Bye.